Edison here. I wanted to go over a CGC Express return I just got back. This is going to be a pretty short video because it's only 16 cards, so I'm just going to quickly go through it. And this stuff is what you saw in my February submission video to CGC. These were the cards that I expressed, and I kind of talk about why I expressed them in that video. So if you do really want to see my thought process, I would recommend checking that out. But in terms of turnaround time, which I do want to speak on, these were received. They were marked as received by CGC on February 24th. So 2/24/21, and they were shipped back to me on March 12th. So in terms of like total time frame that they were, by the time they got to CGC, went to schedule for grading and sent back, it was only 16 days. And that's a little bit longer than what it was for Express in the past, but that is still under what CGC is projecting right now for the current turnaround, or the working turnaround times. And maybe that's because I submitted them in early February and mid-February, and they had just updated their turnarounds. But maybe that's also because PSA, I think, raised the prices on their submissions in between, and because of that, more people were sending in the CGC. So regardless, like, let's just say they're pretty accurate on their turnaround times. I'm happy to get these cards back at this speed. And yeah, so you kind of know what cards I got back if you watched that last video where I sent these in. But I'm going to start with the fatter pile. And because it's 16 cards, they came in these it's like styrofoam things. You saw this with the standard Gold Star and Crystal order I just got back. But yeah, they ship, I think if it's 10 or less cards, they'll fit them into this. And then if it's 20 or less, they'll fit 2 of these into a box and ship it like that. All right, first card. And these, these are all obviously going to be the new updated cases. They're a little bit thicker. You can definitely feel the difference. Ooh. 9-5 in Misty's favorite Japanese from Miracle Twin 104094. I don't know. This is one of those cards I talked about in the investing videos I've done or speculation videos. It's just it's a cute waifu card that does well in the current climate, and the Japanese one was undervalued compared to English, so I picked them up. And if you do get CGC cards back, you're going to notice too, they're really dusty. Every single one of these cards is dusty. And what I did with those last cards is I had to get Windex and scrub them off. But same exact card, Misty's favorite Japanese, and a 9-5. This one is quad 9-5, so a little bit stronger than the other one, which had a 9 on 9 on centering. I think you would be very hard pressed to tell me, and this might just be biased, but you'd be hard pressed to tell me that this card wouldn't just cross to a 10 in PSA if you would actually inspect these cards. This is something that a lot of people do take issue with CGC with, but some of these cards are getting 9-5s to the naked eye, and to close examination, they really do just look like flawless cards. Anyway, next one is Kanazawa Pikachu. So we see on the label, this is from the Sword and Shield promo 147S-P, but it's from the Kanazawa special box. This is one of the things that I've been hyping up, is get the promo cards from that box, because that box is maybe $600 now, and the promo packs are still around $300. They've kind of plateaued at around $300, which is still more than I paid. This is quad 9, which is a little tough. And I will say, I think this card, if you are someone that doesn't want to just buy cards to grade and you're looking for graded cards, I think this card in a 10 is honestly a good speculation, because I'm very confident that the pop reports for these in a 10 are going to be so low, just because of how they're packaged. They did all 3 cards in one plastic, one little sleeved, I don't know what it's called, one plastic bag had all 3 cards, so they were rubbing up against each other, and they're getting dinged on the corner of the plastic bag. And then because it's that whole reverse foil hollow on the front, it's honestly pretty hard to grade these correctly and grade these well, because there's a lot of area that it might get scratched. But yeah, a 9 in this card, still really strong. I'm guessing this is the same card. Flip it over. 9 as well. Dust on the front. Look at that. So this one's a little bit stronger at 9.5 on surface. Nice looking card. They do look great in these cases. And I sent them Milotic and Sobble in CGC bulk, but just with the current turnaround times, I don't really expect to get those back until maybe July, with how backed up I'm guessing they're going to be. And that's only going to get worse as CGC gets more cards, as PSA and BGS fall further behind. Next up is a Gem Mint 9.5. Oh, this is I didn't realize. So there's a Mint 9 and Gem Mint 9.5. This was the highest grade that we got on the ones that we submitted. Beautiful card. Really strong grades, honestly. And this might be like another one that, maybe not. You can actually see issues on the back corner, back edge. A little bit of dings. So that's pretty fair. Next up. So I only submitted 3 of these, so I'm not sure what this is. Let's flip it. Oh, the Clefairy. This is that promo card I talked about in the past. It's from the Dream League booster box promotion. If you bought the booster, you got these. But like this card is on fire. It's kind of plateaued at around the 110 to 130 range for raw. But I think the market for these graded market for these, that's where you're going to actually see the returns from. That's where the money's going to be made. And like Clefairy, we got a 9.5. Pretty solid. 9.5 center, 9.5 surface. 10 on corners, 9.5 edges. I think this would have needed... Actually, if one of these two went to a 10, I think it's a 10. No, I think all 2 of these had to go to a 10. So this is a pretty strong 9.5, and no way a contender for a 10. Like, just great artwork. I submitted 5 of these in Express to CGC as well. And like as for reference too, I paid $25 a piece for them. I paid like $30 to grade them Express with CGC. So I'm in these Clefairy cards for $55. And if you look at the price on the cards now, that's like half the price of a raw version. So I really can't go wrong grading these Express. There we go. A pristine 10. 10 centering, 10 surface, 10 corners, 9.5 on edges. Maybe I'll go through, but I mean, just to get a 10 in a CGC, if you just looked at all the cards I sent, I mean, none of them, some of them were closer to the 10, but none of those were 10s. So when you do end up picking one up and you see that gold 10 on it, it is a good feeling. Like, this is a good card. I feel safe getting CGC 10s because I know that the card actually is deserving of that grade. But that just looks great with the gold lettering and the gold number. With kind of like the rest of the artwork matches it pretty nicely, but a nice 10. Next up. Oh, another 9.5. Still Gem Mint. Let's see. So it's a quad 9.5. Still a very strong card. Like, I think these are still great contenders. And if you do want this card and you prefer, as I said, if you prefer to buy stuff graded, I would look into the 9.5s for these because I think a lot of them more or less are 10 worthy. Maybe just arbitrarily a decision on the day if it crosses up. Another 10 in the Clefairy. Dream League booster box purchase. 10, 9.5, 10, 10. Look at that. If I got a perfect 10 in this card, I don't know. I'd probably lose it. I don't even know what you could even value that at, considering the 10s are so much right now. And this is the last one. A third 10. Dream League booster, 10 centering, 9.5 surface, 10 corners, 10 edges. So out of the 5 of these cards that I submitted in, out of the 5 of these Clefairies I sent in, 3 of them got 10s. That's super high percentage. Kind of looks weird, but if you just think this was like a specially packaged promo in Japan, it's also a Japanese card, so it's better card stock overall. There's a pretty high chance that you'll get higher grades on them. But, I mean, getting 3 10s on this type of thing is nuts. I'm just so happy to get these. Next up is this small little pile, and I'm going to try to go through this a little bit faster. First off, we have Marnie 140S-P. This is from the Marnie's Practice Trainer Card Collection. It's just like a small little thing with this signed card. I don't actually know what's in the rest of the box, but that has gotten super expensive in Japan. This was like a spec buy I did in early December when they came out, and I paid like $35 a piece for these sealed, and this is where they are at now. I mean, they've, I think, tripled in value for the raw price and the graded copies. This was like my thought process too, is that the graded versions will do super well. But it's a unique Marnie artwork exclusive to the collection, and it's a little bit more special because it has what's supposed to be, Marnie's signature on the cards themselves. But a 9.5, quad 9.5, still a very strong card. I submitted 2, so I'm guessing this is the other one. Very dusty back. Flip it over. Oh, it's not. This is a 9 in Misty's favor Japanese. I'm surprised that this got here. So we just saw the other ones, 9.5s, I think. 9, not as happy, but this one got docked mostly for centering. Yeah, if this was a 9 on centering, this would be a 9.5. It's a little rough. But I guess I should have paid a little bit more attention to the centering before I submitted them in. Let's see. This is 9-5 in the not Nurse, sorry, Pokemon Center Lady. This is that Sword and Shield, I think, base set promo. I think this was Sword and Shield base. Oh, sorry. I think this was Sword and Shield base set that if you like bought booster packs at a store, you would get this card for free. This one isn't English, but it's not going to be that unique stamped promo, which I think adds a lot of value to cards. With super strong subgrades, I picked these up for around 20 a piece, and those have also, increased in value quite a bit. But yeah, super happy to get this back in a 9.5. And all the other ones, as I mentioned in the other video when I sent these in, was I'm submitting half express to get inventory up front, and then the other half is going to sit in bulk, and whenever I get them back, I get them back. So let's see, this one is 9.5 in Nurse Joy, same card. Quad 9.5, we've seen a lot of those today. Just, can't really speak on it. Good artwork. Let's see. Oh, a pristine 10 in it. That's really good. So it got docked on surface, but honestly, a pristine 10 in this card, I'm guessing, is quite expensive right now. Super beautiful card. This artwork is really nice. I mean, not only is the character really nice, but I'm just appreciating how nice that background is of the Galar region Pokemon Center. And the last card should be the Marnie, I think, because I submitted 2 of those Marnies in. I've only seen 1. Let's just flip it. All right, it is a pristine 10 in the Marnie from that collection box. 10 centering, 10 surface, 10 corners, 9.5 edges. You can't win them all if this was a perfect 10. I mean, perfect 10 in waifu cards, I really think are nuts. Like, that is going to be the next frontier. First, people were talking about perfect 10s in Charizard and Pikachu's. I think perfect 10s in these female character cards are going to have huge margins and huge potential in the future. And to wrap this video up, I just wanted to show the breakdown of what actually got returned to me today in terms of grades. So at the very bottom end, we have the 9s. We got back 3 9s today. 2 of them, as I mentioned, are from promos that are packaged pretty poorly in these Kanazawas. And then, 9, this one got docked for centering, which, to be fair, centering is just out of the control of the consumer. Can't really do anything about that. And then a majority of the cards we got back from the 16 card sub were 9.5s. So we got back 8 9.5s. A mix of everything came back in this. A lot of 9.5s, so very strong. I consider a 9.5 a perfect 9.5. That's a pretty strong card overall. And the last 5 that we got back were going to be 10s. Didn't get any perfect 10s on this express order, but we did get 5 10s in some very valuable artworks and cards. And I do want to do this type of breakdown just to show people that CGC, CGC is tough per se for their grading, but it's not impossible to get 10s. I see a lot of people say they're going to submit to PSA only because CGC is too tough. But for me to submit 16 cards and get back 5 10s and 8 9.5s, I mean, why would I expect most of my cards to be pristine or perfect condition? I do also want to say that a lot of people I see in the comments of my videos will say, oh, CGC is too tough, PSA is much more fair. But, if you just think about this, a 10 really is a pristine, too perfect card. It really shouldn't be a majority of the cards you send in deserve 10s. There's always going to be some flaw within the card. So to send 5 Japanese cards in out of 6, to send 16 Japanese cards in, and for 5 of them, so right around 1/3 to come back as really pristine, perfect. I would honestly consider most 10s to be perfect card. That's fair. That makes a lot of sense. And for the majority to be 9.5s, which is still, respectable and strong grade, that makes sense to me. So yeah, that's it. Just wanted to show off these grades. Really beautiful cards that I got back. I'm just happy to kind of share them on the YouTube channel and show that I'm starting to get my returns. So thanks for watching. This is going to be it for the video, and I'll have another CGC sub going out, in a couple weeks, and I'll make sure to do a video on that. Have a nice one, guys.